Hi folks, Bill Vales here. Our previous tech tip was a review of social engineering and phishing attacks. In this tech tip, we're going to take a look at some of the internal mechanisms in a phishing attack. Recall that phishing emails are launched as part of a social engineering attack. So how does the attacker stage the actual attack? Let's take a look at some of the details. A safe connection between a user, which is you, and a web server, and that's the website that you are connecting to, should look as follows. Now, in a perfect and honest world, information that you create goes directly to the web application. Similarly, information that originates at the web application goes directly back to the user, which is you in this case. We hope someone is not looking or eavesdropping on the original connection. But hope is not enough. You need to make sure the connection is encrypted, but more on that later. The attack that gets set up by the phishing email is called a man-in-the-middle attack, abbreviated MITM. This is when an attacker inserts themselves in between you, the user, and the web application. There are numerous ways an attacker can do this when they craft their phishing email, but those details are not important right now. In this case, the man in the middle has either short-circuited the original good connection, or they created a connection which mimics or impersonates the valid website. In this case, the attacker inserts themselves between the user and the web application. This means any information sent from the user will be intercepted by the man in the middle. The man in the middle saves the information and passes it to the web application so that things appear normal to the user. Similarly, any information sent from the web application back to the user will be intercepted by the man in the middle before passing it along to the user. Now, the idea from the attacker's perspective is that the connection will look normal to the user, particularly if the attacker's website is carefully crafted and built to look like the legitimate website. However, with the attacker in the middle of the transaction, they are able to intercept all the information passed between the user and the web application. Once the attacker or man in the middle intercepts your information, they can use it against you or sell it to numerous other crooks. So, how can a user defend against this type of attack? Using the following 4 tactics should help. Number 1, take a breath, slow down. Oftentimes, phishing email is directed to people that don't even have an account with the organization referenced in the email. This is a clear sign of a phishing attack. Now, if you do have an account with the organization in the email and you are questioning the authenticity of the email, then contact them through your normal channels and verify your account status. Bottom line, do not rush into making a bad decision, and a bad decision is clicking on a link. Number 2, use two-factor authentication whenever you connect to a website. Two-factor authentication is when the website you are connecting to wants to send you a code on your cell phone or other device to complete your login or authentication. The man in the middle would not have access to your cell phone to intercept the second access code that is being sent to you from the web application. Now, sometimes two-factor authentication schemes give you the choice to send the code to your email rather than to your cell phone. This is a slightly different variation. Some people consider two-factor authentication to be a pain to use? Well, having your bank account or healthcare account breached is even more of a pain. Bottom line, use two-factor authentication whenever you deal with a website where you're going to exchange confidential information or do a purchase. Number 3, make sure the connection to the website uses encryption. This can be verified by ensuring your website connection uses HTTPS. You can either see this displayed on your browser address bar with either HTTPS, an icon, or a lock, or both. If an account is not using encryption, you should see that as well. Remember, the S in HTTPS stands for secure, which means encryption is being used. This means any information from you or from the web application is encrypted. This means if the information is intercepted by the man in the middle, it would be encrypted and not recognizable without the encryption keys. You should note here that a connection could be faked to appear it is using HTTPS when it is really not. Therefore, be very careful. Never assume a website presented to you in a hacked email is going to go to where it says it's really going to, or if it's really using HTTPS. Bottom line here, use HTTPS on every website you visit. And number 4, never click on a link in an email or in a web page. You can cut and paste the link from the email or web page and paste it into the browser. This removes the chance of a man-in-the-middle attack occurring in the email, since you have eliminated the email from the equation. Bottom line, never click on a link in an email or web page unless you have verified it is a legitimate link. That's it for this tech tip. Remember, the key defense to protect you from social engineering and phishing emails is you. Stay educated, stay informed, and be aware. I look forward to seeing you soon.